Yo, what's up viewers of YouTube? My name is Tyler of Chico Crypto. Here, I've got a special treat for you guys. I got the chance to interview one of the developers for the Komodo platform, PTY Trader, and the head of the Monaize platform, the first decentralized ICO on the Komodo platform. They dropped some bombs in this interview, so stay tuned. Alright, welcome viewers of Chico Crypto Consultant Enthusiast. My name's Tyler of Chico Crypto. Let me introduce my two guests on the show today. There's Robert of Monaize. Say hello, Robert.
Hey there, good evening here from Paris. Nice to meet you all.
And here's PTY Trader of Monaize.
PTY Trader from Komodo.
Oh, I'm sorry, Komodo. It's early. All right, guys. So, as you know, my channel is all about drinking beers and crypto. So let's introduce our beers. I'm drinking an old Chico, California. Nice. Chico. I had to represent.
Okay, I'm drinking a Monet, Austrian beer.
Awesome. And how about you, Robert?
And I'm drinking a Chouf. So obviously, as many of you know, I'm in France. I'm in Paris.
I need to try that. That looks delicious.
This is a craft beer technically, but it's very well known now. They've done very well. So yeah, it's a famous French craft beer.
Well, if this video gets enough views, you should tell them, hey, you want to be sponsored? Get free 6-packs, 12-packs all day.
Yes.
All right, guys. So I'm going to start out with the first question. This is for PTY.
Okay.
So PTY, in a brief statement, explain what the Komodo platform is and why it's different than other similar blockchains.
Okay. Okay, so simply put, Komodo is a zero-knowledge proof blockchain, and it's an entire ecosystem. It's not just a currency. 5 key elements, the entire thing. We can go into detail later, but we're different because we're probably the only blockchain against Bitcoin. I think, in fact, we are the only blockchain that's recycling Bitcoin's hash rate of work. And additionally, we're also trying to solve all the bottlenecks that crypto has, such as liquidity providers and smart contracts and simple contracts, which a lot of people don't know about yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'd definitely like to know more about some simple contracts. But Komodo, do you have like a target business or a target individual that you're going after?
Okay, so currently, and actually we got asked this question today, there's no one target that we're going for. Mm-hmm. There's so many things that we're doing that they cover a huge spectrum. So for example, we can offer business solutions, business blockchains. We can offer micropayment networks. We can offer key value storage to store data on the blockchain, and we can offer the asset chains, which is similar to the ERC20 token solutions.
Yes.
So I mean, there's like a variety of things that we have going on, and actually, is that we're organizing and we are creating the teams that are going to go out to specific markets, but it's not going to be just one. It's
not just one. So you're targeting multiple markets, but you're going to have teams that focus on those markets.
That is correct. Yeah.
Awesome.
So currently, like I would say that our focus right now is to get all the documentation ready for the developers, and also for any new coming projects that are going to try to pitch their ICO or their project to us, just so it makes it easier for them to jump into the platform. And then after that, we're going to start focusing on other solutions. I think it's going to be called the Komodo Suite. The Komodo Suite.
Okay, so you want
like a productivity suite.
You want a seamless integration for everyone. If you want to create a project on the platform, you want it to go as smooth as possible.
Exactly. Yep.
Awesome. Well,
and for it to cover all the ranges, not just one thing.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Well, Robert, I got some questions for you. So could you explain in a brief statement what the Monaize platform is and why it's different than other similar banking solutions?
So we're an e-banking platform for small businesses and freelancers. So it's literally a current account. It's a bank account for that particular demographic, with which you receive, of course, an account number, and mobile application, so it's fully mobile, and then a MasterCard, so a Monet's Business MasterCard.
Okay.
Then it's also important to note that different services are being integrated into the application. So things like professional insurance, things like payment solutions. So if you're an e-merchant, for example, you're selling shoes online, then it might be a good idea to have access to payment solutions very easily. So we allow third-party integrators to come in and plug their solutions into Monaize in order for our clients to get access to those solutions. The big problem with banks these days, they're not focusing enough on small business. They focus on the consumer market, that being me and you, right? Exactly. Our everyday need. They focus on the big business. It's difficult for them to focus on small business because you're dealing with all kinds of different businesses, right? It can be a baker one day, it can be an e-merchant, then there can be a consultant who's working as a freelancer for a large company. It's a difficult demographic to serve. Focus on technology. And using technology notably to personalize personal thinking for small businesses and freelancers.
Well, it sounds like you definitely have a target market. So out of those people, what is your ideal business you're going after?
It's all kinds of, it's micro businesses notably, right? So it's businesses that have less than, and that being said, it can be for all kinds of businesses, but ultimately it's for businesses that got less than 10 people. I mean, just in terms of numbers, for example, I'll be heading up the UK market. And if you look at that market, so you've got out of 5.5 million businesses in the UK, 5.3 of them, 5.3 million, are micro businesses. So businesses that have less than 10 people. So it's small business, freelancers. But then it can be anything, right? It can be, it can be a consultant working as a freelancer. It can be a plumber, an electrician, an Uber driver. It's all kinds of different businesses.
Now, I didn't even think about that. Like freelancers, Uber drivers, they could definitely open a business bank account.
Yeah, they have actually. I think they have the permits to do so, right? I mean, once you're a freelancer, if you have the right documentation, you should be able to actually open a business account.
Exactly.
Hey, they need it. I mean, we're not just talking Uber drivers, right? Because an Uber driver will not only use Uber, they'll use Uber, but then they'll also use things like Cabby. They'll use other apps, right? And this is the big thing. They've got the choice now to use the app that is most, that fits their needs best. And they can literally one day wake up and plug into Uber, use that for the day. The next day they decide that Uber's not good for them, so they'll use another application. And therefore it's important for them to be able to, have the right banking solutions, the right sort of, the right financial solutions in place, and also deal with these different businesses they're working with.
Awesome. Well, sounds amazing. So we're going to switch on back over to PTY, ask him a few questions. So what are the most important components of the Komodo platform, and how do they work together? Okay,
I would say that currently, the most important parts are the asset chains and the BarterDEX. Those are 3 out of the 5. So the way that they're going to work together is an asset chain is our tokenization mechanism, right? So you can launch a token. Let's say you wanted to launch a token for you today. We could actually launch in minutes, and once you have the token, so what do you do with it, right? So now you have BarterDEX, that's an atomic swap exchange, and you have Jumbler, that is the anonymizer working with zero-knowledge proofs. You can actually distribute this token through BarterDEX using the anonymizer as a method of maintaining the privacy for the investors. And now you have 3 parts that other and pretty much get one job done, which is to create a decentralized ICO.
Okay, so right? That's perfect.
So you have all these parts that do different functions, but together they create this whole new thing
called the dICO.
And the dICO, yeah. So the dICO in essence is a mix of all the technology. So you have an asset chain or a Komodo distributed via BarterDEX. So it's actually an ICO that's happening in atomic swaps Okay, so you're going to have Monaize, for example, the Monaize dICO. You're going to have Monaize in spread out across, let's say, 100 or 200 servers. Each one will hold so much Monaize, and you have the users that are actually buying into the Monaize through atomic swaps, and they, since it's spread out so widely, it's harder for one user to buy up all of the supply or the majority of the supply.
That's brilliant.
So it has these things about it that protect not only the decentralization part, but also the distribution part. You want to be able to distribute it to as many people as possible instead of just whoever buys the most.
A lot of ICOs, that's been a problem with a lot. Like basic attention token, there was, I think like 35, 40 people got involved in the ICO before it ran out.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. I mean, like if you look at many of these projects, they've become about money.
Exactly.
People ask us all the time, like, so how is Komodo monetizing? What are they doing to monetize? Because the BarterDEX fee is 107/77 of the total. So it's nothing compared to like 1% or 2% of exchanges.
Exactly.
And it's like I tell them, it's not a point to make money off the users. We are creating revenue, but enough revenue to keep afloat and to keep the development going. But we're not trying to break the users' pockets.
You're trying to create value for your users.
Exactly. And to be able to create peer-to-peer networks that are not affected by just, any random regulation in a certain country. I mean, you saw what happened weeks ago, like when there was one regulation in China, the price of Bitcoin just
crazy went down.
Yeah, exactly. But what would happen if we were doing peer-to-peer? Regardless of the regulation, the actual exchange, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't affect the price as much, I think. So we're moving from centralized exchanges to decentralized exchanges.
Oh yeah, fully going that way. That's the perfect segue into the next question. Since we have Monaize and Robert right here, the concept of dICOs will be fully involved with BarterDEX on the Komodo platform. So how is this going to work with BarterDEX and Monaize?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
You take it. What's the question more specifically?
So Monaize is right here, and the concept of dICOs are fully involved with BarterDEX. So how is BarterDEX going to work with the Monaize dICO?
Well, it's that's where the big innovations are going to come right now. One of the big issues that we've got with especially some of the smaller cryptocurrencies is that they can be difficult to spend. Now, if you can leverage that BarterDEX to use it as a sort of as a tunnel or a BI through which smaller cryptocurrencies, provided we can get the liquidity into Bitcoin and then used to be switched into fiat potentially. And that is obviously a huge application for BarterDEX, right? So working closely with the Komodo platform, we'll be looking at how we can leverage that in order to make smaller cryptocurrencies more mainstream by using it literally as a tunnel into Bitcoin or fiat if necessary.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like initially, the initial relationship between the BarterDEX and Monaize will be that the dICO or the ICO will go through it. Well, actually, I'll put it to you this way. Okay, so when you invest in an ICO, you're dropping money into, and you have to wait for them to send you the tokens back, right?
Oh yeah.
So with BarterDEX, it's different. You're actually doing a one-to-one trade. So you deposit or you buy Monaize and you receive it immediately.
Right to
you. So it's actually instead of an ICO. So the Monaize token will be traded first on BarterDEX. That's where we'll.
It's a huge step. It's a huge step towards decentralized exchanges. You guys have been involved in Bitcoin for a number of years. I've been involved in Bitcoin since 2014, and even years ago we were saying that it's crazy that we are talking about decentralized technologies, and nonetheless all the trading that's happening is happening on centralized exchanges.
Yeah,
you know why it's difficult. One is the speed at which, I suppose the benefit to centralized exchanges is the speed at which transactions can happen. And that means, therefore, that there's more liquidity because people want fast transactions, and therefore there's more in those exchanges.
Okay, I got a surprise question for you guys right now.
Okay.
Just off of that. So, Komodo platform, how many transactions per second can the blockchain of Komodo handle?
We've done stress tests that have gotten up to the thousands.
Oh, awesome.
Per minute.
Perfect.
Yeah. We have a scalability solution for Bitcoin actually. And it's not been made public yet because we're full on BarterDEX right now, but once all of this settles, I think the documentation is almost ready. So basically, Komodo, with its asset chains, is able to scale
indefinitely.
To infinity. The stress tests, yeah. I mean, the stress tests that we've done were, I think, anywhere from 50 to 100 times more of the processing power we have now, but it could go up to 1,000. So the way that it works basically is that you have the main chain, and you can create as many highways above the main chain as you want, or side chains. Okay, so if you can process 100 transactions on the Komodo blockchain per second, but now we have 10 that right above the main chain. Now you can process 10 times as many.
Wow.
With all of them just notarizing onto the Komodo blockchain. Okay, using the delayed proof of work in the same manner.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
That's how you scale it. And you can do it to infinity. I mean,
so you're working on a solution for the Bitcoin blockchain as well, it sounds like.
Well, that's I think, to be quite honest, if you look at the hash rate of Bitcoin, it's enormous. I mean, trying to fight it is almost ridiculous.
Yeah,
we should really be trying to recycle it and reuse it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the whole point of our vision. It's not just Komodo, it's Bitcoin, it's everything. We want to make it better for everything.
Which plays in with the concept, the idea of decentralization, right? It's not about having one big, huge parent chain which deals with everything. It's about different chains working with each other to deal with the load notably.
Exactly. Back in 2013.
Yeah, because right now you have the way that I see blockchains are like islands. You have the Ethereum island, you have the Neo island. Yeah. But why can't those islands talk to each other?
Oh, they will. They fully will. I agree. Like when I was first invested back in 2013, 2014, I thought Bitcoin was the only chain, I was a Bitcoin evangelist, but as time has went on, I realized that one chain can't hold all of humanity's data. We need multiple chains, and they're all going to work together and communicate together.